Good morning, everybody. Wow, what a huge audience. There's hundreds of you. Thank you very much for coming. I feel quite humble, actually, addressing such a vast number of people. I think the last audience of this size I spoke to was at the Rail Timetabling Conference, where I was the after-dinner speaker. And I can assure you it was very, very hard to get a laugh. So I hope you're going to be a slightly kinder audience today. Transport Focus, some of you know us. We're the independent consumer watchdog for Britain's transport users. We are unashamedly a consumer organisation. We aim to be useful to all of you in the audience to help you do better jobs. And primarily, we bring evidence to the table. We bring lots and lots of evidence and not anecdotes, hopefully. And I think it's great that the user voice is being heard at this fantastic jamboree of roads that we're at for the 4th year. Huge number of events, a lot of debates going on. But I think it's really important to remember, what is the purpose of all this activity? Why are we all here? The purpose, I think, is that we want a road network that allows people to get on with their lives in a timely and efficient way, and we want a road network that delivers for the freight industry so that they can move goods around the country and keep the country literally ticking. So I think the purpose of all this activity, it's very, very important to remind ourselves. You can get lost in the engineering sometimes, you can get lost in all the excitement about the future. We're very interested in what's happening on Britain's roads soon, today, and in the short term. We've been working on behalf of road users for about 3 years now, and we've been building our evidence about road users' priorities for improvement. What do road users want to see improved on the strategic road network? The fact we brought the issue of road surface quality on the strategic road network to the table, I think is very, very important. The road surface quality is pretty good on Britain's strategic road network, but people want it maintained, they want it better, they want the concrete got rid of, and it comes out as quite a strong priority across all of the work that we do. We've done work around rest areas, we've done work around motorway service areas. Absolutely crucial that the facilities that surround the strategic road network are attractive enough that people want to take a break. Taking a break is absolutely crucial to safety, so it's very important that those facilities attract people. Lots of work around incidents and roadworks. When accidents happen, of course, users want them cleared up as quickly as is possible, as efficiently as is possible, with good quality information. And the increasing number of roadworks that we're seeing, the byproduct, the investment that Jim was talking about, people want them managed well, they want to know why they're happening, and hopefully we'll one day get to the end of the point when the cones are out and nobody appears to be working and you don't know what's going on. And I know Jim and his teams are thinking very carefully about how you communicate with road users about that. We've done work on smart motorways and what users think about smart motorways. Lots of the chattering classes, lots of people have thoughts about smart motorways and how they're working. We actually went and asked users what they thought about smart motorways, and hey presto, most of them just think they're a road, they get on and use them, and don't actually unprompted think about what might happen if they were to break down. Very important to get the road user voice into that sort of crucial debate. And of course, importantly, there's a lot of money being spent on the roads, which is great. But what is that money going to be spent on? What will users want to see? How will they notice the difference? So we've been doing a lot of work with the Department for Transport, with the Office of Rail and Road, and with Highways England, trying to get the next road investment strategy more focused on road users' needs. The first road user strategy, I think we were all sort of trying. It was quite experimental. Nobody had done this before in this country, a 5-year strategy like this. The next one is going to be very, very important, and it's getting a bit more real, it's getting a bit more serious in terms of how the user voice is going to be reflected in all this. So we've done a lot of evidence gathering, but today we're launching 3 pretty big pieces of work which I think establish a whole new benchmark for the road user voice in this country. I'm not aware if this is available anywhere else in the world. Probably somebody will tell me in Uzbekistan there's a fantastic, huge road user survey that I haven't heard about, but I haven't heard about it yet. So I think in this country we're being a real leader in this, in developing, looking forward to what people are saying about the roads. Today we're going to launch our strategic roads user survey. We've now got data from about 8,000 road users who are talking about their last experience on the strategic road network in England. Absolutely crucial we try and catch people as soon as possible after their experience so their memories don't fade, they don't start to sort of put together all sorts of general experiences. We can now start to benchmark Highways England's areas against each other, and we can now start to see where there are differences and start an intelligent debate about why those differences exist and what could be done about narrowing some of them or changing some of them. So it's it's a fascinating view, I think, of what people think about the road network. You can see there that roadworks management, 65%. Clearly there's a bit more work perhaps to do there overall. Safety, feeling quite good. Road surface quality. Overall satisfaction, probably not bad. Probably might be where you expect it. But as this survey gets bigger and as more and more information is put into it, it will get more powerful, it will get more useful, and very importantly, it will become one of the metrics, one of the measurements in the next road user strategy, which Jim and his colleagues are measured on. So he and his colleagues are going to be very, very interested in it, I think. We've also just launched Cyclist and Pedestrian Survey. When we took on this work on the strategic road network, the government was very keen that we didn't just focus on drivers. Lots of other people use or try and cross the strategic road network, so we've done some work around how Highways England is doing in meeting those people's needs. And again, quite broad satisfaction, but it's very local, very specific, much more detail in that report. And finally, I think very importantly, we've just spoken to 1,000 coach and logistics managers about their experience of trying to run businesses across the strategic road network. And I think this piece of work is very, very important. Not bad satisfaction, but these people, as I say, are keeping the country running. Virtually everything appears on a truck that we need or use, so it's crucial that the haulage industry can rely on the road network, and strong evidence coming back about better information about roadworks, please, and if possible, improving the quality of the road surface as well. So that road surface quality issue comes through again and again. All of our data is now on a new hub on our website, so you can access it more, ask more questions yourselves, cut it in any ways that you want, and the data will become more and more useful, as I say, as more and more people take part in it. And I think all of this information is crucial because Jim and his colleagues and the supply chain as well, and this work is not just directed at Highways England, it's very much directed at the supply chain. Highways England needs help. If these targets are going to be met and exceeded, the supply chain has got to be saying to Jim, this is how we are going to help you. This is how we're going to be more efficient. This is how we're going to do roadworks better, faster, keep people more informed. So we're now speaking much, much more to the supply chain as well, which I think is quite right, trying to get the bids that come into Jim more focused on the needs of the user. And as traffic levels go up, although Brexit may solve that, and as the capacity of the network is constrained by more roadworks, this job gets more and more difficult, obviously. And so it is a challenge, and we're very keen to help. But when you boil down all of our research, it's quite clear what road users want is a safe network, as safe as possible, one that's reliable. It's interesting how little increased journey times come through in terms of the research. People have set the timetable for the road network in their head. They want their journey to take roughly that amount of time. Disruption, exactly the same as in other transport modes. When there's disruption, either roadworks or whether there's an accident, people want information, they want to be put back in a position whereby they can plan their journeys, plan their lives. And as I say, freight is relying on this network. So what we're doing next is we are launching the Strategic Roads User Survey in detail on the Burgess Salmon stage. I shall point, I don't know if I'm pointing in the right direction, at the Burgess Salmon stage at 11:10, so please do come to that. The Minister is helping us launch that. We have a stand at I-22 where my brilliant colleagues who've done all this work will be available to talk about it. And coming up, we've got more work on facilities on A roads, which involved eating a lot of burgers in the course of that. We've got work on tunnels coming up. There's going to be 2 huge new tunnels built in this country at Stonehenge and Lower Thames Crossing. What do users think about those? What do they want from those? And something I'm very proud of, we've done the first piece of work about what disabled users want from the strategic road network, both in terms of being a driver and a passenger. It's curious how there's a tremendous focus on disability on public transport and very little focus on road use. And so we're very pleased that's going to be launched by the Secretary of State later this month. So I think the road user voice is finally arriving, and thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much.
Just very quickly, what kind of level of detail are you hoping to be able to go into in the long term then? Is it literally every single piece of roadworks you'll be able to go in and look at data from what people have said about it, or what kind of level of detail are you hoping for?
It entirely depends on size. If we get more funding for the survey, you can get more granularity. And everybody always says to us about our other surveys, I wish you could drill down further so we could get something really about the junction, about the road in particular. We can do the bigger roads now, but as time goes on, the data will get more and more granular. I'd like to get down to individual roadworks.
So can you see it being part of a bidding process, for example, a company explaining how that they will listen to the customer in the future?
I think that should be very much part of what Highways England is doing. And I know there's some debates that started about that, but we've seen that starting in the rail franchising process, where our survey work is embedded right in the core of the contractual arrangements, and I hope in future that will happen.
Okay, well, thank you very much.